Hey, everybody, this is the Shenandoah County Sheriff, Tim Carter, and thanks for watching today. Today, I have a couple special guests here with me. I have Investigator Heath Painter. Thanks for being here, Heath.
Yes, sir.
And Tyler Jobe's back with us. Tyler was with us talking about community services deputies a few weeks ago. But today, we're going to talk a little bit about Narcan. And Heath administers that program for us here in the Shenandoah County Sheriff's Office. And just so our viewers understand, because we did get some pushback on this when we first started this. The reason we got involved in carrying Narcan, which is basically, basically it's an antidote to an overdose for heroin. But the reason we started doing that in the beginning was to protect our own staff.
Yeah.
Because we knew staff during traffic stops, during arrests, when they went into homes where narcotics trafficking was going on or what have you. We figured, and we had heard and read and seen stories of other agencies where deputies and law enforcement officers were overdosing on opioids in the course of doing their jobs. And that's why we got it in the first place. But what we found is at this point, we're using that on patrol and on the streets when we get to a overdose call. So let's talk a little bit about what the stuff is, Heath. Can you tell us a little bit about what we carry here in the Shenandoah County Sheriff's Office?
So we carry the nasal Narcan is what they call it. It's administered through the nostril. And what it does is it's a medication that reverses the effects of an opiate overdose.
Right.
It gets into your bloodstream, your system, and it goes to the brain. On the brain, you have receptors that are opiate receptors. The Narcan gets there, it'll kick the opiate off of that receptor, and it'll attach itself to that receptor for a short amount of time, which reverses the effect of that overdose and brings an individual's respirations back to normal, so they breathe normally.
Okay. Every staff member, I know all my patrol staff, all my school resource officers are equipped with this. Is this pretty much something that we're training every year for and
yes,
issuing out as part of their basic equipment now?
Yes.
Yeah. And Tyler, you were one of the reasons why we asked Tyler to be on today. I think you're probably the person with the most recent, what we would call a save in our profession, where Tyler went to a call, person was obviously overdosing, and he administered Narcan and actually saved the person. So we're finding, it's probably not the first time you've done that, so maybe more times. Can you tell us anything about those kinds of responses?
Typically, we'll administer the Narcan if we get there first before ambulance gets there.
Right.
We're dispatched to all overdoses. In that event, I was the first one there.
Right.
So was able to have a successful save by administering our Narcan, given the training that we give annually. We administered the dose, EMS arrived, and then they started doing their advanced life-saving procedures, and within 25 minutes she was out of the ambulance, and that was it.
Right. Now, Heath, I think our records are indicating we're getting like 7 or 8 of these a year.
Yes.
And I don't know. I just think that's, people probably don't realize it's that high. When you think about where we came from, we're actually, these are things that we know are reported to us. So there probably these things are happening and we're not even called.
Yes.
Right. Can a person go and can a private citizen go and get Narcan or naloxone and have that at their home?
It's now available over the counter at most major pharmacies, CVS, Walgreens. I know here in Woodstock they both carry it.
And I mean, I guess the downside to something like that is maybe you administer it, but you don't have the support of the EMS coming afterwards. I mean, I don't know. That's just my take on it, guys. I don't know how you all feel about that.
It's recommended after a dose of Narcan is administered that you go to the hospital. And most of the times that they do, but then you have some that, they don't. But there is a chance of overdosing after Narcan's administered again.
Right.
So it's highly encouraged that if anybody does experience, a Narcan episode, that they do go to the hospital immediately afterwards and stay there for an 8-hour evaluation before leaving the hospital.
Right. How about like, I know Heath has been working in our narcotics area for a while. I mean, I don't think it's my understanding people aren't really that cooperative when they come off of, this has been used. I mean, is that kind of your all's experience?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're reluctant to give up any kind of information at all about it.
Yeah. Okay. So Heath, as far as people that this happens and they contact 911, I mean, what's the current laws pertaining to that?
So right now, if somebody falls victim to an overdose, and they seek medical treatment, they accept medical treatment, and it can be in the form of very simply an ambulance showing up to their house, and they refuse to go to the hospital. They accepted some type of medical intervention.
Right.
They're immune from any type of a possession charge, or anything that could come of it of that aspect. If they're not alone, somebody had to call 911 for them. That individual who sought medical treatment for the individual who overdosed is also immune to any type of a possession charge which comes from that event.
Right. Well, I guess my position would be, of course, addiction's a pretty powerful issue for people, and of course we try to work with people through, we do, and other organizations work through them through those services that they provide. But at the same time, what we want people to understand is you can get help, and this is not something that I would use from a what's the word I'm looking for, from a management of their addiction. But at the same time, it is something that we have found that in the case of an emergency has been helpful from time to time. Mm-hmm. Well, again, Heath, thanks again for coming. Tyler, thanks for being with us today. And you guys be careful out there, okay? Thank you all for watching. Again, this is Shenandoah County Sheriff Tim Carter. You can find this podcast and all our others on my YouTube channel at Timothy Carter. And go ahead and subscribe when you get there to get new show notifications. Thanks so much.